Flowers and trees. Flowers and trees gave birth to caffeine as they made meatloaf out of pliers on the beach. They stared at the sun and happily went blind while eating every seashell in hindsight before the dawn of a new millennium. Said the trees to the flowers, "I'm so blind I forgot to laugh." The blind flowers stared in aw shucks at the chocolatey trees made out of brown rice and eyelashes. The caffeine they gave birth to was impossible to see because they were still so unsightly blind, so they chased it into the ocean made out of other oceans. Caffeine turned into a paper helicopter and flew away until it crashed into an elk made out of Foot Locker gift cards. It was suddenly raining gift cards with no cash value and no cat dander. The trees were lined up one by one and uno by uno, but they could not smell each other because of their blindness. The trees danced to a tuneless tune about chopping down trees with a glass bottle of ketchup with a dash of sulfur, which is yellow like BBQ sauce. The trees longed to be chopped down so they could be as enormous as cranberries. Said one tree to the others, "I'm so glad we're all gonna die." Then one tree replied, "Gonna ain't no word." The trees laughed until they cried rivers of those metal pieces that connect erasers to pencils. They were the first to cry rivers of metals. "Oh my glockenspiel, holy shaved ice! Waitress, my lobster is still alive. Can you please pass the head lice comb? There's a light bulb in my bottle of steak sauce." Steak sauce drippity drips out of light bulb boxes. Aren't I afraid of my own earlobes taped to my chin? No, I aren't. The sand on the beach turned into reverse snowflakes and fluttered heavenward, or perhaps into outer space, and into an otter wearing 800-pound drowning trunks and plastic earrings. The sandless beach looked about as naked as a newborn, with his feet in his mouth, drooling from cheek to cheek and toes to thumbs. The little baby sucked his toes until they had more wrinkles than peas. The baby cried tears of coconut milk and giggled as he shoved his feet back in his mouth. The baby thought his feet were pancakes. Ta-da! The blind flowers returned from the dirty ocean, made out of other oceans, made out of liquid hand soap, and despaired when they found out that the sand had vanished. They searched and searched, and then they called the drunken police. However, the drunken police had all become so fat and ugly and hideous and horrifying from all those freshly stale free donuts that they turned into whales who could not speak well enough to dance with their telephones. The police officers danced with their brick bottles of guava and gravy shampoo. The police officers did not stop dancing with their brick bottles of shampoo until they danced off their weight. A whole lot of cha-cha-cha was happening over at the police station. Now the skinny police officers who turned from whales back into inhumane humans had to relearn English so they could speak it better than those Japanese Italians. By the time the skinny police officers arrived at the sandless beach, the flowers and trees had withered and died. The officers laughed and giggled sorrowfully at the beach on a mountaintop with 51 parking lots made exclusively for bicycles, skateboards, and rollerblades. The officers laughed and giggled like the baby who thought his pancakes were feet. Ta-da! The policemen unzipped their socks and peed on the flowers and trees, and they came back to life. You'd come back to life too if cops started to piss on you. Am I making this up? Oh my glockenspiel! No, I